Hey guys, welcome back. In the next part of the deep playthrough, we are finalizing our getting to know the camp round, walking about it, checking it out. We were just sitting, or ended the episode by resting by the fire and checking the, what the hell? You want the crafting menu. Because you have like a cooking menu and a crafting menu, but I don't think I can make a lot because everything is grayed out, but it's just to get an idea what we will be able to make, like venison and stuff. And it below it shows the ingredients you require, and or the effects, and it's almost all cooked food has an effect on all of our cores, so that's good. But if I click the triangle to show the craftable, it's fully empty, so we do not have any ingredients. Then we have tonics. That's also, why is this one locked? Recipe not known. Okay. There are actually not that many tonics, which I actually like, because otherwise it becomes too confusing. Let's see if we can make any. Yes, we can make a health cure, but I think I already have, what is it, 2? You can craft 7 of this item. You can craft 3 of these. Potent snake oil. Let's just craft it. I wonder how many I already had. It had like a 2 in the picture, or an 11. I have no idea. But I use items, stow. Let's stow it. I cannot imagine that I had 11 already of it, but back. No, it still has that 2 or the 11. So that is. I don't think it has to do with how many we already have, but maybe it are two usages, 2 times usable. Health cure, let's make 1 as well, why not? Good work, Arthur Morgan. Stow it. And let's see, there's one thing I heard, that if you craft something and sometimes you keep the button pressed, that you can skip on all the animations. That would maybe be good, but no, it really doesn't. Alright. So we crafted some potions. And now let's see what we have more in the ammo or in the menu. We can craft ammunition. We can craft 117 of these. It's only a bomber. Oh, okay. That it doesn't show you how many you already have of something. Repeater cartridges. Arrow fire. Ah, that's cool. And fire arrow. Arrow improved. 3. Flight. What's this? Arrow small game. Yeah, you tell me. I will just leave this for now. Let's weapon, fire bottle, Kentucky bourbon, animal fat. Yeah, let's make some fire bottles, why not? Molotov cocktails. Alright, that went pretty quickly. Also not too complicated to prepare. Recipe 4 of 4. What is 4 of 4? But it still says I can craft 2 of these items. But I already have 4. Let's see if we can make another one. No. Oh, consume yellow tonics to fortify your bars. A fortified bar can be used for a short period without draining. This tonic will fortify your dead eye bar. Okay, fine. Is there anything after this coming up in the menu? Hello? You cannot store all looted items as your satchel is full. Pearson can craft satchels with increased capacity. Alright. So what do you do with stuff that you prepared and cannot stow? I wonder. Alright, fire bottles, hunting, you have no recipes. Horse care, you have no recipes. And there we have the provisions. Alright. That was useful. See you later. This fire also really looks cool. It's very, very cool. Let's continue our round. Also the plants that are moving as we walk through them. And it's dirty boots. The details are amazing. Hello?
How you doing, Karen?
Oh, all right, I guess. Grimshaw's driving me crazy.
Well, so no change there.
And let's just check this card. Nothing much here. And anything over here? No. Mary Beth's notebook. Can we open it up? Mary Beth's notebook. The American Wilderness. A romance by Mary Elizabeth Non de Plume. They call it the Wild West for a reason. It was a land that pulled all those towards it who wanted adventure and all those who were running from elsewhere. It was a land of gunslingers and outlaws and beautiful women and wild animals. The question is, which one of these was the beautiful Marcel? Marcel was a French princess on the run from a terrible duke who lived in France, but was chasing her because she would not be his bride. She also realized at the same time that was total tripe and she should go hang herself for having IDs way above her station. Yeah, this is Mary Beth really is a starting author, a writer. She needs a bit more practice, I guess. Not that I am a good writer at all, but it was this. This was, hello, the castle above the moor. And this, I think this is the last book. A Romance of Oldie England by Mrs. Herscott Childers, page 354. Forevermore be doomed to a life of unimaginable suffering, Eleanor swooned. Yet surely the Duke was dead. She had seen him thrown off the galleon with her own two beautiful grey eyes. Could this dashing and handsome vagabond with a scar across his cheek really be him? It seemed impossible, yet in her heart she knew it was true as their love that bound them together like swans that had been tied together. And yet now, instead of embracing her true love or walking with him across the windswept moors, she had sent him off to a certain death. All because of the dastardly trick played by his own evil cousin. This sudden flash of truth gave Lady Eleanor back her truest possession, her own strength as a lady. Slowly she raised herself from the rich burgundy velvet-covered chaiselon and cleared her perfectly shaped throat, while the wind blew her beautiful magenta gown and her even more beautiful flowing hair appropriately. Sir Mulberry, a word with you before you go, she gasped, bravely but breathlessly. Sir Mulberry turned slowly. He stared blankly at the woman, the lady, the true lady, he thought. Incorrectly. He was about to forever trick deceitfully into becoming his wife, and knew instantly by the look of honesty, simplicity and truth in her beautiful grey eyes that all of his lies and deceits had not worked, as they never could when faced by such a lady. Okay, that first part is super confusing. Sir Mulberry turned slowly. He stared blankly at the woman, the lady, The true lady, he thought, incorrectly, he was about to forever trick deceitfully into becoming his wife, and knew instantly by the look of honesty, simplicity, and truth in her beautiful grey eyes that all of his lies and deceits had not worked, as they never could when faced by such a lady. Yes, my lady, he spluttered nervously. That man we just sent to the deepest dungeon in all Britain's great empire was not a Barbary pirate at all, was he? She commanded imperiously. She felt the strength of truth and goodness raise her up tall and proud like the prow of a great battleship, just as her enemy seemed to shrivel wretchedly like a snivelling big-nosed moneylender in front of her. I don't understand, he ejaculated furtively. I have never been so insulted in all my life, he added idiotically. No, sir, that man we sent to almost certain death was not the Moorish scourge of Cornwall at all. That man was your own true cousin, the Duke of Hepworth, who you claimed was dead. That the Duke, he spat desperately, realizing that all his lies and tricks had come to naught when faced with the righteousness of Lady Eleanor. You're correct.
Listen, Sean,
The Duke is not dead.
you and me is one thing, but will you at least try to make an effort with the boy?
I lied.
If it'll shut you up, I'll try. But fathering ain't nothing I know about.
Here's a hint. Act like you ain't a selfish, bloodthirsty moron.
You mean lie?
Shut up.
You're correct. The Duke is not dead. I lied because I was a fool and believed the words of foreigners. Guards, arrest this man. He's a traitor to the king and a liar and a man of no honor. Yet Sir Mulberry, despite being a traitor and a liar, had just enough honor and English pluck left to see his own foul shame for what it was. Unbecoming to an English gentleman. Before he could be arrested disgracefully, with one last look at the beautiful Lady Eleanor, the lady who he had tricked but who had now defeated him, he threw himself from the castle window to be dashed forlornly on the jagged rocks and tempestuous waves, crashing tempestuously below. Lady Eleanor sighed sadly. It's very sad. He was once a good and brave man, but then greed and lies overtook him. She lamented lamentably. It's like my father always said, when an Englishman realizes he has acted with all the lack of pluck and honesty one expects of a foreigner, then dashing yourself upon rocks and tempestuous waves is the only course of action, said her trusty and loyal maidservant Bess comfortingly. We must hurry, for the ship is carrying the real Duke to his certain death, said Lady Eleanor suddenly and unrelatedly, and ran breathlessly through the castle and down the highest spiral staircase in all England. After having crossed the drawbridge, she leapt urgently upon her white charger, Bessie. Bessie whinnied bravely and then raced bravely across the windswept moors furiously. She hoped earnestly that she could save the life of the one man that she loved and who loved her too. She would not be too late, she told herself and Bessie, pointlessly. Bessie whinnied again, still very bravely. Super funny story with all those how do you call it? Those indicative or words before specifying a verb. Is that an adverb or something, or an adjective? Like pointlessly, earnestly, bravely, urgently, unrelatedly, breathlessly. Super funny. Tempestuously, lamentably, really funny. The Castle Above the Moor, that was a cool book. Alright, I guess we are pretty much nearing the end of our exploratory tour. I do think we read everything that there is to be read. Maybe something here, Lancaster and blah blah blah. Nothing much here. This is our, the only thing we still have to explore is our own tent. This is our shaving kit. But yeah, we are already, okay, it could maybe become a little bit shorter. We could make a moustache, that would be cool. This is your current length. The chin. Nope. The chops and chin. Nope. Let's just do it all a notch shorter. Like so. And there are pretty dark clouds. That's also something I noticed earlier, but whatever. Let's check out our own tent. We can sit around here. We can sleep, so rest to recharge our cores. We can change our clothing. Actually, that's pretty cool. Let's see how long we still have. Okay, we do still have quite a while. Outfits. Check out what we have. This outfit is suitable for hot temperatures. That's what we were already wearing, I guess. The summer gunslinger. This is for cold temperatures, average temperatures, hot temperatures. What's this? The brawler's outfit. Hot temperatures and average temperatures. The innocent and the pursuer. No, that one is stupid. This one is pretty farmer-like. I actually also like what we are already wearing, so let's keep that. But maybe we can change our hat. This will always stay on your horse. Not really sure what that means. This will always stay on your horse. Okay. Oh, that's for gambling or something. Worn gambler. Ah, there are even more of them, I guess. We only have one available. So that's the... Yeah, we have the gambler hat. Ah, that's a fine hat. Coats. Duster coat. That's a long one. Hunting jacket. Only one. All very long stuff. Gunslinger jackets. Yeah, I must say the gunslinger jacket is perfectly fine that we currently have in my book. Let's look at the vests. No vest. Nope, do not need a vest. I wonder whether we can use a vest and a jacket. Let's check that out. Yes, that's possible, but we will now remove the vest. And the shirts, everyday overshirt, French press shirt, union shirt. It's about the colors that we have. This is also a pretty cool one, maybe. See how it looks. Yes, it's pretty okay. At least we have a fresh shirt. Pants. Yeah, we have perfectly fine pants in my book. Work pants. Don't really see a difference. Cuffed town pants, ranch pants. No, the pants were also perfectly fine. Suspenders. Yes, why not? And chaps, if I knew what those were. Holy shit. There's a lot of clothing. We have no boots. Worn roper boots, workman boots, deluxe relentless boots. Choose of rambler boots, and we were using the roper boots. Look perfectly fine by me. Spurs, Do we need them? Nope. That's animal cruelty. Oh, we actually do have them. Okay, let's leave them on. Masks. Cloth mask. Nope. Bandanas. Nope. Neckwear. We have a neckerchief. Fine. Gloves. No gloves. Range gloves. Yes, I do like gloves actually. Fine. Is that for what kind of weather is this? Slightly warm, pair with other warm items for protection from the cold. Yeah. I'm not doing it for the temperature, but for the protection, and it looks cool in my book. Weapon equipment, gun belts. Arthur's pistol belt looks pretty good to me. Primary holsters, Arthur's holster, looks fine. Offhand holster, choose an offhand holster. So that's the other side, I guess. And bandoliers, no bandolier. Choose to equip this bandolier. Let's see how it looks. No, that's a bit overdoing it. No need for it. Where were we? Weapon equipment, right? Yes. Why does it all the way go back to coats? Okay, it's satchels. Arthur's satchel, we already had it. The effects of all owned satchels are active no matter which satchel is equipped. Fine. And talismans, they can give you buffs, I guess. The effects of all owned talismans are active no matter which elements are showing. Okay, I find that Arthur is looking pretty fine. Maybe what we could do is coats, no coat. Is that not an option? I mean, it's not that warm. Yes, I find that an option. What was that? The photograph. Let's check it out. No, that's for sleeping. Nope. There's another book. God damn it. What about that photograph? It's a bit finicky, those button prompts. This is the shaving kit. Examine. No. Here. Photograph. Let's see who that is. Flip it around. This is Beatrice Morgan, Spring Rocks 1870. I guess that is
Mr. Marston.
Arthur's mother. And let's read hopefully the last book. We've been reading enough. A Field Guide to the Botanical Kingdom. Oh shit, I think there's also another book after this one. But let's quickly run through it. This is good for the compendium, for the entries, which you can also read from, learn from these kinds of books. Here we go. Rambles through woods and plants. A field guide to the botanical kingdom. When I immediately stumbled upon an old woman with some crow garlic. No, this is not a bulb of garlic sold by a miserable old crone. Indeed, she had less teeth than fingers and a peculiar distemper for spewing auguries and portents, but I purchased the crow garlic from her anyways. It is a lovely perennial that is a wild onion rather than garlic, but it's delicious cooked in bread. Knowledge of native medicinal plants and herbs is essential for any frontiersman. Disorders of the blood are frequent, and having a fellow in clan that can exorcise the demon of jaundice using a few hand-picked herbs boiled in the tea is essential. My hope, dear reader, is that you will take the knowledge in this book so that you may identify all plants and herbs and use the awareness for good. It has come to my notice that a few individuals have purchased my book and taken the information herein in order to concoct fermentations, to bring a curtain of oblivion down on the evening, awakening the next day piled on one another like sweaty sacks of potatoes, knowing not what kind of lewd carnal ostentatiousness took hold by firelight. The very ideal ID. Let's discuss the fungus that lives among us. Macrolepiota procera. This is commonly known as the parasol mushroom. In some regions it's called the snake's head. Snakes of course do not wear hats. They do however talk on occasion. The parasol mushroom is delicious to cook, but should not be eaten raw, as there are toxins that will give you a very unfavorable view of the world, and your gastrointestinal distress will surely be remarked upon. The Imlaria badia, this mushroom is known as the bay bullet. Bullets. These are quite common and can be found in large numbers. These are lovely to cook with garlic and give a distinctive taste of rotted wood that pairs well with a merlot. Do not be worried about the bluish marks that can occur on the underside. Like humans, these mushrooms bruise. Alright. That was the book, right? Yes. Rambles through the wood plains. And here is the, I guess, the last book. First bank robbery newspaper scrap. April 15, 1887, brazen bank robbery. 3 men sought. Major T.G. Belford has been a cashier at the banking house of Lee and Hoyt for a number of years, but nothing prepared him for what transpired last week. It was about 2 o'clock. 3 men, strangers to me, came through the door and walked up to the counter. One of them, the oldest of the 3, was a fine talker and engaged me in conversation. Suddenly, the largest, a big sullen young man, brandished a firearm and held it up to my face. "Throw up your hands," the third one said, who appeared to be the boss. The other 2 repeated the order with an oath, and the leader said, "My fine patriotic friends and I are going to relieve you of that gold and introduce a few folks to the benefits of civilization." They came around to the counter and grabbed some sacks which contained $5,000 in gold. They demanded to know where the rest of the money was. I pointed out 3 sacks containing silver, but it was too bulky for them. They retreated, and one warned against sounding an alarm. "I was never so terrified in my life," Mr. Belford told a reporter. "The robbers are reported to have lingered in town, and there are unproven claims that the men traveled to hovels and shanties and even a home for orphans and gave handfuls of the ill-gotten gains to the poor." Alright. And this was the first bank robbery. No, right? First bank. Okay, it's probably the name is First Bank. It wasn't the first robbery of a bank. Zoological compendium. Another one for the compendium, for the entry of Earth's creatures. G.D. Goddard. And moose are difficult to run down in such instances, furnishing poor sport. Look not only down but up when tracking moose, for they break twigs, bend branches and tear the ground up quite significantly. The badger. Many a man who nearly broke his neck or leg has cursed this animal, for in its pursuit of prey it takes to digging holes. These quickly are covered by leaves or weeds, and along comes a rider into a death trap. I have been thrown from a horse on several occasions as it stepped into a badger hole. I got up, covered in dust, cursed to the heavens, then took to killing everyone I could find within miles, wiping out an entire species of which I feel only lingering regret. At times nature should be left to its own devices up until the point where it inconveniences me, and then it should be eradicated. When approaching its hole, this idiotic creature will pop its head out to see what is coming. Place a shot between the eyes, take the fur and throw the rest in the stew pot. The skunk. Those who raise game birds or chickens are likely to hate the skunk for marauding about hen houses, but farmer and foresters alike should leave these beasts alone. Many take to shooting skunks for sport. However, they eat quite a large amount of insect larvae, which helps crops and prevents infestation of moths and caterpillars. When you upset the balance of nature, man must pay from his pocketbook for artificial substances to rid of infestations, when you could have left well enough alone. A note on animals, water and debilitation. Serious sickness often takes a household when foul water is drunk. This can debilitate a man from hunting or farming, and instead he is resigned to the outhouse while his spouse looks on in mournful derision and pity, as he neither pleases her in the bedroom nor provides ingredients for bread for the supper table. Creatures are thirsty too and will fall into your well, spreading disease before it is discovered. Obtain a cask and layer small pebbles, charcoal and a layer of sand inside. Attach a faucet at the bottom in order to draw off the water. This will provide perfect drinking water even if it tastes slightly like a dead raccoon. Alright. That was so much as our studying goes. Let's look at the flower. It's all so cool. You can do so much in this game. Also the reflection of the light into the glass of the jar. It is all pretty amazing.
How's it going? All good.
Look at the
How are we,
detail in the wooden table, the stains and the scratches, the lightning over here. I think we pretty much checked out the whole camp, which is pretty good. What we could still do, and let's do it just for completion's sake. Let's finish the chores to get our honor up. That will also improve prices in town. Oh, we cannot do that during the evening, I guess. Whatever. I will lie down. Let's rest a bit. Tomorrow we will go do the two missions. Uncle, the one with Uncle and the one with the Reverend Swanson. That's the one we will do first. And we can also do the hunting challenge. This one, Master Hunter. We have to skin 2 more deers. And before going to bed, let's see if Dutch has something to say.
Arthur, how's a cigar?
Not bad. But sometimes I prefer a pipe. I've been meaning to get one for ages. I left the old one
And Blackwater, I know. Well, if I find one, you can have it.
Well, you are a gentleman, Mr. Morgan. I raised you well.
Don't take too much pride in your work.
Do we have now a new request? Yes, a pipe. And what did Mr. Pearson... Oh, that we already completed that one. Alright, let's hit the sack. And we will sleep till the morning. And... let's check the time, by the way. It's 23:50. Wow, she's singing pretty annoyingly.
Watch. Dying of the day. Hear the distant church bell chime. Matters little now, Lorena. Past is the eternal path. Our heads soon lie low, Lorena. Life's tide is ebbing out so fast.
Man, it's almost real life. At one point, you don't need actors anymore. The whole profession of actors will go to, will be out of the window when you can just create them digitally. Let's go hit the sack and sleep till the morning. And then end the episode here. And in the next episode, we will be going on the missions. This was more like, ending our study session with reading up on all the books and checking out the camp facilities. And here we are. When you gain or lose weight, an item will be shown in your health core. Okay, so we need to eat something. Let's see our health core. No, we are still pretty good. We can check our condition, by the way, over here, I guess. And let's see. Weight is average. We do need to gain some weight. Temperature is fair. Core remaining. The core is all pretty nice. That's because we slept. But we do need to eat something. So let's not forget about that. Also, what I wanted to do quickly still is check our journal, whether there's a new entry. Otherwise it will be so much to read all at once. Chapter, we already read this one. We have been running for weeks, more than usual. Yes, we read this, I guess. Horse, no, let's just go through the pages. Davy Calendar, who got shot in the gut on the raid. Yeah, we already read this. This was about the raid. Hardly the spring I'd been looking for. Ocean I had been planning a robbery. Yes. Riding out. Rich Leviticus Cornwall. That was, I think, the train. I am gonna read it from here. Of course, reading it from the handwritten stuff is more. Yeah, how do you say, more authentic, but it's just too slow. I have a hard time sometimes reading that handwriting. So let's read it from here. Rich, Leviticus Cornwall. Seems Coleman Driscoll had the same idea as us. He's been hiding up here, scouting out the train he wanted to rob. We bumped into some of his boys at some farmstead they was robbing, found that poor woman whose husband they had murdered, and she's now riding with us. She ain't got no place better to be. Then Dutch being Dutch and his hatred for Colm being just as powerful as ever it was. A whole bunch of us went to pay him a visit in his camp, but he escaped. Okay. God damn it, do I have to do that each and every page? We grabbed one of his boys, poor bastard, ain't spoken yet, but he will once we freeze him a little. Then set bail on him. Been a bad few weeks, but we're mostly still alive. Dutch being Dutch is busy making plans and figuring just how we're going to survive. And Dutch being Dutch, those plans involve robbery and dreams. No, I'm not still going to activate the typed font for each page. So I will try just to read the... I cannot scroll up or down. It's just per page you have to activate it. So it's quicker, I think, to just try to read the handwriting. Alright, this is a deer. And here we are in Horseshoe Overlook. And this is the encampment. Finally, a thaw in this god-awful weather. We got off the mountain and rode east into some pretty enough country called the Heartlands. Ain't been this far east in many a year. East. Hosea seems to know the country a little. Ain't been much of a spring. Now holed up at a place called Horseshoe Overlook outside of some dumpy little cattle town named of Valentine. Dutch seems a little better. His eyes are sparkling once more and I can see he's thinking a little clearer. I think we all feel a little happier in spite of Blackwater and that whole mess. Underlined. Alright, that was it. Let's see our savings. I think D, M, L, G, C, B, and A, that are all the names. Dutch. M, I don't know. L, Lenny. G, A, Javier. Guzman or something maybe. C, I don't know. The M, by the way, is Mika. B and A, Pearson is not there, I guess. I have actually no idea, but I do think it are camp members. But I think the camp is bigger than only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But yeah, we will see. This is Blackwater. I bought this new journal. Yeah, this is the start of the journal. I must say it's really cool, this journal. Also for getting a connection with the world and Arthur's psyche, what he's how he's experiencing everything. We need to eat something, but unfortunately, oh, wrong button. Unfortunately, we don't have that much, right? Oh yeah, we do. Cooked game meats. Eat. And let's eat a bit more. Cooked beef. Cooked tender pork. And what's this? Slightly resource. No, let's take a bit of pork. Very nice. And let's see our weight, because it was a bit average. It's still average. Let's eat one more. Oregano prime beef. And let's get a cup of coffee from the dudes over here. I guess that's
Room
also
by the
possible.
fire here, Mr. Morgan.
You can just sit, you know.
And let's see if we can sit. Yes, so cool. We're chilling out in the morning
Good to take the weight off, huh?
Hello.
Sure.
with a cup of coffee. And I think this is a good moment to end the episode. We are chilling out, preparing for a busy day with a lot of missions, probably a lot of shooting and exploration and discovering stuff. So really looking forward. I hope you enjoyed it somewhat. If so, please leave a like. It really helps me out. Hope to see you in the next part, which will be coming immediately tomorrow. I will record it. For the meantime, guys, never forget, you yourself, keep on gaming. See you later.